I'm gonna say we're live now because it's live for me. It'll be live for you in a minute, and I'm live. I imagine Twitch will try and delay me even longer because Twitch. Multi-chord activate. Anyway, as usual, as to a Dragon Age stream that I've been setting up now, we're gonna start with some reading. This time we'll start with the Codex entry for apostates, because... And just as an FYI, I'm going to play this game 6 times through. I'm going to do all of the origin stories. The Codex reading hour will only take place in this one, because I don't want to bore everyone. One time going through the important codexes is enough, I think, don't you agree? The voice in my head. Even if I didn't know what I was doing, would you agree? Anyway, apostates. It is not uncommon for the neophyte to mistake apostates and maleficarum as one and the same. Indeed, the Chantry has gone to great lengths over the centuries to establish that this is so, because of the Church. In truth, however, is that while an apostate is offered a maleficar, he need not be so. A maleficar is a mage who employs forbidden knowledge such as blood magic and the summoning of demons, whereas an apostate is merely a mage who does not fall under the auspices of the Circle of Magi, and therefore the Chantry. They are hunted by the Templars, and quite often they will turn to forbidden knowledge in order to survive. But it would be a lie to say that all apostates begin this way. So basically, before I read the next sentence, it's kind of obvious that the apostates and Maleficar are not one and the same, but the extremes that the Church goes to try and force all mages under their control forces most... it kind of, yeah, because of the extreme measures the Church goes to try and put all mages under their control, it forces some apostates to become Maleficarum just to survive, which is not really fair. The reason I read the Codex, the Codex about apostates and less so about the Maleficarum is because Maleficarum are just generic enemies, whereas apostate, the trials of the apostates become very, very central to the main story of Dragon Age as time goes on. Because it basically disconnected my true controller, which means my stream chat got reconnected to my speakers, and if it's on my TV speakers, it's not connected to my headphones. If it's not connected to my headphones, then historically, apostates become such in one or two ways. They are either mages who have escaped from the Circle, or mages who were never part of it to begin with. This latter category includes what we tend to refer to as henchmen, those with magical ability out of the hinterlands for a different magical tradition than our own. Some of these head mages are not even aware of their nature. Underdeveloped, their abilities can express themselves in a variety of ways, which a hedge mage might attribute to faith, but ultimately being entirely depending on his nature. Some of these traditions are passed down from generation to generation, as with the so-called witches of the Chase of Wilders, or the shamans of the barbarians. No matter how a mage has become apostate, the chantry treats them alike. Templars begin to systematic hunt to bring an apostate to justice. In all cases, justice is execution. If there is some overriding reason the mage should live, the right of tranquility is important instead. However, we of the Circle of Magi believe this system fair. It's irrelevant. It is what it is. So yeah, the church is fucking extreme in this setting. And that's going by... Can you hear me? Well, the controller completely died because I was using traditional batteries, so it completely died. So I had to make sure that one of my battery packs has enough charge for me to switch over to that, which thankfully one of them did. Anyway, now that crisis is out of the way, what were we saying about the church? Yeah, that's kind of why I kind of like this setting, because every single aspect of the lore feels you can apply it to our real world and think, yeah, that actually fits. So the extremities of the church in this setting feel akin to, like, if to use a Catholic church for example, the treatment of apostate mages feels very similar to the Crusades of the Middle Ages, if you think about it. The commandments of the Breville Sandwich Maker. I mean, this is important because the context of which people view these commandments is also a thing that will be brought up constantly within the game, so... Look, I'm always going to call it the Breville Sandwich Maker because that's the only maker that exists. We've established this as the running joke. better than making you feel sad. So yes, these truths the Maker have revealed to me, and there is but one world, one life, one death. There is but one God, and He is our sandwich maker. They are sinners who have given their love to false gods. Just like real religion! The tensions between... This is not me making a comment of there's only one religion, that's correct. This is making me making a contextual comment of that's kind of how religion is based in our world. There's a lot of religions who say this is the real religion, anyone who believes anything else is false. The extremities of a lot of religions is felt in this passage. All religions are accountable of this. It's not me saying, oh, this is one religion, because despite what I believe everyone is allowed to believe what they want. A lot of people don't believe that, and that's where these religious extremists come from. That's just fact. Magic exists to serve man, and never to rule over him. Foul and corrupt are they who have taken his gift and turned it against his children. They shall be named Maleficar, accursed ones. They shall find no rest in this world or beyond. All men are the work of our Breville sandwich maker's hands. Oh my god, the sandwich maker has hands! It's a sentient sandwich maker! From the lowest slaves to the highest kings, those who bring harm without provocation to the least of his children are hated and accursed by the sandwich maker. You shall be denied your penance ham. Those who bear false witness and work to deceive others know this. There is but one truth. All things are known to our sandwich maker, and he shall judge their lives by denying them cheese. All things in this world are finite. What one man gains, another has lost. Those who steal from their brothers and sisters do harm to their livelihood and to their peace of mind. Our sandwich maker sees this with a heavy heart. And thus is why the ham of the sacrament is finite. Limited ham! I'll read about the founding of the It's alright. Don't worry, there'll be at least one game in my list where the stream will be able to hear you, but we won't be playing that game for a while yet. In fact, if I'm honest, of all the titles I already have penciled in as something I'll be playing, on my list so far, only 2 of them I'll be playing on PC, which means that they'll be the only 2 I'll be able to stream for Discord chat. I mean, no, it'll just mean that the voices in my head will be audible for the first time. They'll know I'm not crazy! Exactly. Anyway, the founding of the Chantry, I swear this is important. It's not overly important to the story, but it is important to what we'll be doing. Cordelia Straken, king of the city-state of Orlais, was a man of uncommon ambition. In the year 15 ancient, the young king began construction of a great temple dedicated to sandwich maker. It was made of ham and and declared that by its completion, you would not only be united, you would not only have united warring city-states of the south, you would have brought the Androssian belief into the world. In the year 3 Ancient, the temple was completed. There in its heart, Draken knelt before the eternal flame of Andraste and was crowned ruler of the Empire of Olay. His first act as Emperor to declare the Chantry as the established Andrastian religion of the Empire. It took 3 years and several hundred votes before Olesa of Montismar was elected to lead the new Chantry. Upon her coronation as divine, she took the name Justinia, in honor of the disciple who recorded Andraste's songs. In that moment, the ancient era ended and the divine age began. Let's try and find something up. Demonic possession. Yeah, not really that worth it to read right now. I'm only reading context entries I know will be relevant to the story. This is relevant. Oh, I think I've already read this one. I think I read this one. Did I read this one at the start? Yeah, I think I read this. Yeah, I think this is one of the first ones I read. Yeah, this is one of the first. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is one of the first ones I read after we finished the prologue. So yeah. No, I will. I haven't. Have I read this one? No, I haven't. I don't think I have. This is very relevant to the last game, so we may as well read it. The most recent game, so I may as well read it. I detest. No, the one that came. Basically, the one that came. The last one that's released, and it's also relevant to the one that's coming out soon, I hope. I detest this notion that the veil is some manner of invisible curtain that separates the world of the living from the world of the spirits, whether it be called the Fade or the Beyond. It's a matter of racial politics I refuse to indulge in at the moment. There is no this side and that side when it comes to the veil. One cannot think of it as the physical thing or a barrier or even a shimmering wall of holy light. Thank you very much for that image, your perfection. Think of the veil instead as opening one's eyes. Before you open them, probably. Before you open them, you saw our world as you see it now. Static, solid, unchanging. Now that they are open, you see our world as the spirits see it. Chaotic, ever-changing, a realm where the imagined and the remembered have as much substance as that which is real. More, in fact, a spirit sees everything as defined by will and memory. And this is why they are so very lost when they cross a veil. In our world, imagination has no substance. Objects exist independently of how we remember them or what emotions we associate with them. Mages alone possess the power to change the world with their minds, and perhaps this forms the nature of a demon's attraction to them. Who can say? Regardless, the act of passing through the veil is much more about changing one's perceptions than a physical transition. Veil is an idea. It is for active trans. What's a revelation? Veil is an idea. It is an act of transition itself, and it is only the fact that both living beings and spirits find the transition difficult that gives the veil any credence as a physical barrier at all. Blah 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 blah. Venus calendar. I may as well read this. Ferelden, as we think of it now, did not exist before the Exalted Age. Instead, the valley was divided up into dozens of old Altmari clans. This is basically the history of England, more or less, because before the Romans came, the British were just were basically just a dotted selection of Celtic clans, pretty much. They warred constantly with one another over land, honour, and the allegiance of the freeholders, and on one notable occasion, the name given to a favourite Mabari. They warred over the name given to a dog. I want to call this dog Buttersworth. I want to call him Sniffy. Let's fight! But he shall be best named as either Buttersworth or Sniffy, depending on the outcome of this war. Who wins? We don't know, but I hope it was Team Sniffy. We don't! It's just Buttersworth Sniffy! Have we got anyone in chat at the moment? It's fine. And then in the 33rd year of the Exalted Age, Galahad Ferrin became Tairn of Denerim. Everything changed. He was named as Alfred. God damn it! Basically, if you want me to compare Galahad to the real world, Galahad Ferrin is. Have you heard of the ancient English king known as Alfred the Great? Basically, in this setting, Galahad Ferrin could be equivalent to Alfred the Great in our real world, pretty much. If you don't know his history, Alfred the Great is the main villain of Assassin's Creed Valhalla for some reason. I don't get it either. Probably because we're a Viking and Alfred the Great was the king who fought against the Vikings. Yeah. To me, Alfred the Great's more of a hero because he's the guy who founded my country. So why would I take him seriously as a villain? It's like saying to it's like trying to make the American audience play the Tyranny of King Washington DLC for Assassin's Creed 3. They won't take it seriously because to them George Washington founded their country. He's one of the people who founded their country. So why would they take him seriously as a villain? Yeah, that's kind of how I feel sometimes with somewhere over here. Don't worry about it. So yeah, basically the point standing is, it's like that's why I don't really care about much for Assassin's Creed games anymore in terms of plot, because the last, I would say honestly, the last Assassin's Creed villain character, historical villain character that made a lot of sense was Cesare Borgia in Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. That was the last one that absolutely made sense for him to be a villain. Everyone else is every other one is like, hey, you remember this guy who founded your country? He's a villain now. I'm like, why? We've had it with Cleon, which I can see the logic with Cleon, but at the same time, it's like it's war in Greek states. It's like, pick your poison with that one. Exactly. That's why I'm trying to. That's why I'm trying to come up. That's what I'm trying to talk about, because every other Assassin's Creed villain, everyone's like, "Fuck you." He helped find our country. Like with Assassin's Creed 3, we had Charles Lee, who was a founder of the American people. Assassin's Creed 4, we had a guy who we don't care about, and Woodes Rogers, who was a pirate hunter. Depending on your politics, pirate hunters were decent people. In Assassin's Creed, even Assassin's Creed Revelations, while the villain made sense, it was a villain that lacked substance. It's the only part of Assassin's Creed Revelations I can criticize the villain. Damn it, I'm having a brain fart as to which game came after Black Flag. No, that was Rogue. Rogue's villain was the assassins themselves, which it felt really off because they made the assassins really fucking stupid. Unity's villain was forgettable, to say the least. Unity had a villain that you barely remember, pretty much. Unity, I've always made the joke that Unity's main villain was Unity itself. Syndicate's main villain again was just a English toff who we barely remember. Origin's varying villains made. I think Unity had a villain that I liked, but at the same time, he didn't have a set villain, which kind of hurt, to be honest. It had so many villains, you kind of lost track of which one was the villain at that specific time. Now I am the villain! Now Caesar is the villain. Now Cleopatra is the villain, and we don't even get that resolved. I'm like, just pick someone! Stop changing the villain every 5 minutes! And then Odyssey came along and decided to do the whole plot twist if your twin is the villain in the most bullshit way possible. And then we go back to making a founding father of someone's country the villain with Valhalla by making Alfred the Great the main villain of the Viking game, which pissed off. They made Alfred the Great the villain of Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which obviously, since I'm an Englishman, pissed off a lot of English people. So basically, for example, like you said, if San Martin was the villain of a Latin American Assassin's Creed game, you'd be pissed off. That's kind of what they did to an English people. The founding king of England, the first ever king of England, of a united England, Alfred the Great, is the villain of Valhalla. I'm like, the guy who founded England is the villain? Fuck you. Anyway, sorry for that random tangent about founding fathers in Assassin's Creed. We'll get back to what we were talking about. I've completely forgot where I was in the reading of the codex. No, it's fine. I'm glad no one was in chat to hear that really random rant about Assassin's Creed out of nowhere. Yeah, we always get lurkers. And it's completely fine if you're a lurker, you just want to watch along. Welcome! Fuck. Sorry, my soccer team lost, I was just reading up. Anyway. Most of what we know about the founding of our nation comes from old songs that the bards passed down through the ages. Don't make me play through the ages again, you freaking game, no! Not with Cloud, who takes ages to make a turn! The songs are filled with the exaggerations of outright lies, but this hardly differs from the scholarly papers of some of my contemporaries. There is no argument among poets or scholars on how he did it, but Callan had gained the support of the Circle of Magi, and they crafted for him a suit of silvery white armor that, by all accounts, repelled both arrow and blade. Callan had led his army across the valley and captured Redcliffe, one of only 3 men who had ever succeeded, who had successfully laid siege to that fortress, and presented himself to the bands of Lansby as their king. The poets tell us every lord knelt before Callan without question. The fact that he attended the Lansby surrounded by ash warriors and loyal mages of the circle is generally omitted from the ballads, however. From Callan came the line of Ferrin, kings and queens who reigned uninterrupted until the 44th year of the Blessed Age, where the Orlesian invasion came. The rightful king was forced to flee Denerim, and for 70 years a puppet sat upon the throne. Blah 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 blah. Don't need to read about characters. We learn about the characters as we play the game. Don't need to read that one because I don't really care about the history of the Chancery. I really don't. I don't think anyone does. Anyway, we're done with reading with Cord for now.
Oh, thank you. That's very nice. Is that for me? Really? Wow! Wow!
You have excellent taste. You have excellent taste.
Right, we're done with gift giving. Let's go actually talk to people. Starting with Mr. Prince.
You know, maybe this isn't the best time to be thinking about this, but I've something to ask you. Chances are we'll be heading to Denerim soon. And when we're there, I wonder if we might be able to look someone up.
You have a friend outside the Grey Wardens, I take it?
I'm not talking about a friend, exactly. And no, it's not that sort of friend either. The thing is, I have a sister, a half-sister. I told you about my mother, right? She was a servant at Redcliffe Castle and she had a daughter. Only, I never knew about her. I don't think she knew about me either. They kept my birth a secret after all. But, after I became a Grey Warden, I did some checking and... well, I found out she's still alive.
I did some checking in that
Denerim.
burped. It's wonderful news.
She's the only real family I have left. The only family not also mixed up in the whole royal thing. I've just been thinking that maybe it's time I went to see her. With the blight coming and everything, I don't know if I'll ever get another chance to see her. Maybe I can help her. Warn her about the danger, I don't know.
If you want to, we can certainly try, but... Go on. We'll find out, won't we?
Could we? I'd appreciate that. If something happened to her and I never went to at least see her, I don't know if I could forgive myself. Her name is Goldana, and I think she remarried but still lives just outside the alienage. If we're in the area, then, well, it's worth a look.
Alright, we've got a side quest to do.
Here, look at this. Do you know what this is?
This is the rose.
I picked it in Lothering. I remember thinking, how could something so beautiful exist in a place with so much despair and ugliness? I probably should have left it alone, but I couldn't. The Darkspawn would come and their taint would just destroy it. So I've had it ever since.
It's a nice sentiment.
I thought that I might give it to you, actually. In a lot of ways, I think the same thing when I look at you.
Yeah. Thank you, Alistair. It's a lovely thought.
I'm glad you like it. I was just thinking, here I am doing all this complaining, and you haven't exactly been having a good time of it yourself. You've had none of the good experience of being a Grey Warden since your joining. Not a word of thanks or congratulations. It's all been death and fighting and tragedy. I thought maybe I could say something. Tell you what a rare and wonderful thing you are to find amidst all this darkness.
Corny sentiment.
What else can I do? Write a poem? Pull your hair? I just saw the rose and... I suppose I did it on impulse. Was it the wrong one?
No, it wasn't. Thank you, Alistair.
I'm glad you like it. Now, if we could move right on past this awkward, embarrassing stage and get right to the steamy bits, I'd appreciate it.
Not a chance.
Oh? You're lost then. All the ladies go on and on about how suave I am. I don't know how you can resist me like you do. Oh, look, is that a cloud? I expect rain.
I like Alistair. Spoiler alert, I don't plan to romance anyone in this character, but... I'm sorry, but I'm not going to just say I'm not going to sleep with you. I'm just I'm not romantically interested in, but I'm not going to say that to the first accepted the game, so I think that's fair enough. Revan, our new party member.
I've a question, if I may.
Go ahead.
Well, here's the thing. I swore an oath to serve you, yes? And I understand the question on, and this is all very fine and well. My question pertains to what you intend to do with me once this business is over with, as a point of curiosity.
I mean, you could go if you really wanted to.
Could I? And what if I didn't wish to leave?
You can always choose a friend.
Indeed. I might even be glad to call myself such, come to think of it. It is good to know what my options might be, but that is for another time. For now, we have much to do, yes? What say you?
Care to answer some questions?
By all means.
Why did you want to leave the crows exactly?
Well, now, I imagine that's a very fair question. Being an assassin, after all, is a living, at least as far as such things go. I was simply never given the opportunity to choose another way. So, if that choice presents itself, why should I not seize upon it?
You didn't choose to join the crows, I take it?
To be truthful, I didn't even know the crows existed when I joined them. I was but a boy of 7 when I was purchased. For 3 sovereigns, I'm told. Which is a good price, considering I was all ribs and bone and didn't know the pommel of a dagger from the pointy end. The crows buy all their assassins that way. Buy them young, raise them to know nothing else but murder. And if you do poorly in your training, you die.
And that system works?
Of course. You compete against your fellow assassins, and those who survive are rightfully proud of it. In Antiva, being a crow gets you respect. It gets you wealth. It gets you women. And men. Or whatever it is you might fancy. But that does not mean doing what is expected of you always. And it means being expendable. It's a cage, if a gilded cage. Pretty, but confining.
You see? Me Too artists and people who are trying to force equality onto us. This is how you do inclusivity. You don't shove it in people's faces. You do it subtly. You make a character who builds towards it. It has that character trait, but it's not its sole character trait. Yeah. Exactly, that's why I made the point, because some people think, some self-righteous game developers nowadays think, we'll put it in because it gives us brownie points with people who are doing Me Too movements and stuff. No, we don't need to do it like that. We should be open-minded, that's true, but we shouldn't be forcing it upon people. We should just let people accept us for who we are. Yeah, anyway. And what do you fancy in that case?
I fancy many things. I fancy things that are beautiful and things that are strong. I fancy things that are dangerous and exciting. Would you be offended if I said I fancied you?
No, but you needn't bother.
Ah, that's too bad. I do so enjoy it when I get to be flirty. As for what I'll do in the future, presuming that there is one, I truly can't imagine. It might be interesting to go into business for myself, for a change. Far away from Antiva, of course. For now, naturally, I go where you go.
But the crows eventually found you.
Eventually can be a very, very long time if one plays one's cards right. Come now, enough chit-chat. Talking about the crows summons them, you know. Any Antivan fishwife could tell you so.
Yeah, he loses influence because he lost influence because I didn't let him flirt with me. Whatever.
What say you?
Can you answer something for me?
By all means.
Tell me a little bit about Antiva.
Oh, you wish to know about Antiva, do you? The only way to truly appreciate it would be to go there. It is a warm place, not cold and harsh like this Ferelden. In Antiva it rains often, but the flowers are always in bloom. Or so the saying goes.
Do you want to get back there?
It's not really a matter of wanting to go back. I cannot go. At least not yet. I hail from the glorious Antiva city, home to the royal palace. It is a glittering gem amidst the sand, my Antiva city. Do you come from someplace comparable?
I am from Orzammar.
Ah, yes, the city of lava and stone. It too is beautiful in its way. Sad that it will never see sunlight or smell the salt of the ocean, however. You know what is most odd? We speak of my homeland, and for all its wine and its dark-haired beauties and the lilo flutes of the minstrels, I miss the leather the most.
This I have to hear.
I mean the smell. For years, I lived in a tiny apartment near Antiva City's leather-making district, in a building where the crows stored their youngest recruits, packed in like crates. I grew accustomed to the stench, even though the humans complained of it constantly. To this day, the smell of fresh leather is what reminds me most of home more than anything else.
You sound like you've been away from home for a long time.
Oh, not so long, I know. It is my first time away from Antiva, however, and the thought of never returning makes me think of it constantly. Before I left, I was tempted to spend what little coin I possessed on leather boots I spotted in a store window. Finest Antivan leather, perfect craftsmanship. But I was a fool to leave them. I thought, Zevran, you can buy them when you return as a reward for a job well done. More the fool I, no?
No uneven boots for you.
Indeed. No Antivan boots for Zevran. One simply never knows what is to come next. How could I have suspected I would end up defeated by a Grey Warden, and then spared my life to fight the Darkspawn? I could not.
You need to make the most of where you are.
Quite right you are. I see the Grey Wardens do not recruit fools. Now, if it is all the same to you, I would prefer not to speak more of Antiva. It makes me wistful and hungry for a proper meal.
And I instantly got that reputation back. I like him. He's not my favourite, but he's quite funny and charming in his own way. Liliana,
Something I can help with?
can we talk?
Yes? What's on your mind?
Why did you decide to come to Ferelden?
My mother was from Denerim, and I consider myself a Ferelden. Mother served an Orlesian noblewoman who lived here when Orlais ruled. When Orlais was defeated and the common folk began to resent the presence of any Orlesian, the lady returned to Orlais. She took my mother with her. I was born in Orlais and did not set foot in Ferelden till much later. Mother was always telling me stories of her homeland. I think she missed it.
What happened to your mother?
Mother died when I was very young. Lady Cecily let me stay with her, and she had me study music and dance to entertain her. It is unfair that I have more memories of Cecily than my mother.
You're young. You were young. It's understandable.
Strangely, the only thing I really remember of Mother was her scent. She kept dried flowers in her closet amongst her clothes. Small white Ferelden wildflowers with a sweet fragrance. Mother called them Andraste's Grace. They were very rare in Orlais. But enough about that. Let us move on.
Okay.
Something I can help with?
Not quite yet.
Yes? What's on your mind?
You miss anything about Orlais?
I miss Val Royeaux. Unlike other cities where the people are the lifeblood and the character, Val Royeaux was her own person, and her people little more than decorations. There was always music in Val Royeaux, streaming from the many windows, quiet refrains and triumphant choruses, and always, floating above that all, the chant, coming from the Grand Cathedral. It was magnificent.
Sounds wonderful.
Oh, it would take me a day or two to talk about the many splendors of Orlais, her golden fields, her lush meadows. Of course, there are good things and bad things about Orlais, like anywhere else. Sometimes I miss it dearly, and sometimes I'm glad I'm rid of it. And you will laugh at this, but I miss the fine things I had in Orlais.
What sort of things?
Dresses, fine dresses and furs, and shoes, of course. One can't mingle with nobility
God.
with bad shoes, you see. Orlais is very fashionable, almost ridiculously so. But the shoes, living with those ridiculous trends was worth it for the shoes.
Were there any ridiculous shoes?
Sometimes. About 10 years ago, all the ladies went mad for shoes with soles as large and heavy as bricks. But it isn't always that silly. When I left Orlais, the fashion was shoes with delicate tapered heels and embellishments in the front. A ribbon, perhaps, or embroidery. In soft colors, of course. It was spring.
Wouldn't they be hard to walk in?
I wouldn't want to run in it, or have to enter battle, but for lounging in a lady's sitting room, perfect. The shoes made in Orlais were exquisite. Not at all like these clunky fur-lined leather boots you have in Ferelden. Ugh, just look at them.
I know, right? So ugly and shapeless.
They're sturdy shoes, but sometimes a girl just wants to have pretty feet. Oh, I could talk about shoes all day, but we have things to do, don't we?
You know what? I'm going to have one
Something I
extra
can help with?
conversation with Leliana because I spotted something
Yes?
that we should talk about.
What's on your mind?
I heard that in Orlais, minstrels are often spies.
Where did you hear this?
My brother Trian told me about this a long time ago. He just said someone, but I just thought... No, it shouldn't be Trian. A visiting merchant to Osmo told me this a long time ago.
And you believe everything you hear? Not all minstrels are spies. Most are just singers and storytellers. But some of them are what we call bards.
And the bards are spies.
Bards are minstrels and more. Spies, as you say. Some say there is a bard order, but I don't think this is true. Many bards work alone or in small groups, doing the bidding of a patron who pays for their services. If there is an organization behind it all, no one knows who they are.
What sort of services does the bard offer?
What do you think? They infiltrate, steal, sometimes assassinate. It depends on the bard. In Orlais, there is much rivalry amongst the highborn. They fight over land, influence, and the favor of the Empress. But they cannot do this openly because it is impolite, and in public, they wear smiling faces and pretend to be civil. In secret, they plot and scheme to destroy each other. It is a game completely meaningless to anyone but its players.
You were a bard, weren't you?
I have revealed too much, it seems, but it doesn't matter what I used to be. It is the past.
So that's where you learned to fight like that?
My skills served me well. But the day finally came when I decided to just put them aside. I found myself in Ferelden and sheltered from bad weather in the Chantry. And when the storm passed, I just did not want to leave. I like to see the Maker brought me here.
I smell bullshit. That's enough for now, though. Grandma, tell me some stories.
What's on your mind?
Are you feeling better now, Granny? Is your hip back in order?
Oh, yes, and thank you for asking. I'm feeling much better today.
I like making sure all my companions are well.
Well, thank you for your kindness, my dear. It certainly warms these rickety old bones. What's on your mind?
I'd like to ask you something about the circle.
I will answer to the best of my ability.
How did you become a mage?
People don't become mages. They are born mages. The talent just surfaces later. But you are asking how I ended up at the Circle. I was brought there by the Templars, just like many of the other apprentices. I don't remember very much. I was very young then.
What about your family?
I didn't have a family. I never knew my real parents.
You're
My
a Jedi.
earliest memory was of hiding in a hayloft on a farm, trying to keep warm. I was found, and the
Talking to
farmer's
Yoda,
wife
pretty
was
much.
kind enough not to send me away. But they had children of their own, and I was never made to feel welcome. The eldest son was the worst. He was always calling me a stray, and throwing anything he could get his hands on at me. And I don't know how it happened, but one day, he just found his hair on fire. Fortunately, there was a large trough nearby.
Was he seriously hurt?
I had singed his hair and eyebrows, but injured little other than his pride. Who knows what they would have done to me had he been more seriously hurt. Thankfully, all I had to endure was a few nights locked in a cold barn with a bowl of water and a crust of bread. The Templars arrived several mornings later.
Were the Templars mean to you?
One of them ignored me, but the other was kind to me. He gave me sweets and even sat me on his shoulders once when I wanted to look over a high wall that ran along the road. I'll never forget the moment the Templars led me into the entrance hall of the tower. I had never seen anything so grand in my life. I stopped being afraid then. I knew I was home.
It's a good story.
Well, that's about all there is to my tale. That's how I came to the Circle.
What was life like in the town?
I would be lying if I said it was easy. First, there were rules, and we were constantly watched to make sure we behaved appropriately. Then there was the study of magic. We had to cast the spells just so, control the effects completely. A single word spoken incorrectly, a gesture out of sync, and lack of focus. And we needed to have perfect focus, or we would be in danger.
Danger from what?
From Fade spirits. If we were careless, they would enter our minds, and we would become abominations. Without the Circle and my mentors, I would not have been where I am today. And there was joy in life at the Circle. The joys of fellowship, in knowing that you were not alone in your struggles. In spite of everything, I was happy in the tower, and I loved it.
Right, we haven't talked to Sten in a while.
I have been mistaken.
What do you mean?
You are a soldier worthy to stand among the Beresad. I did not think so when we first met.
I've changed your mind.
You did, of course. The day will come when the Arishok sends us here. On that day, I will not look to find you on the battlefield.
You think the Qunari will invade Ferelden?
In time. There is no point in dwelling on it. We should move on.
I wanted to discuss something you mentioned.
Speak, then. Then I suggest we move on. I am hardly surprised.
You found Ferelden very strange.
To put it lightly, no one has a place here. Your farmers wish to be merchants. The merchants dream of being nobles, and the nobles become warriors. No one is content to be who they are.
A little bit of trivia here, if you don't remember, I was saying this much, Max. The Qunari are very straight shooters when it comes to agriculture. They have roles assigned to them from birth, given what their gender is, what their position is, and what their destiny is to be. If you were born to a merchant caste, into a merchant family, your destiny is to become a merchant. And depending on what gender you're in, it's selected what roles you can be. The leader of the armies is always a male. The leader of the religious faction is always a female. And the overall ruler can be either gender, depending. But once you're in that role, you are stuck in that role for the rest of your life, pretty much. You can't change jobs. Is there anything that you like about Ferelden?
There is interesting food here. You have a thing. It doesn't have a word in the Qunari tongue. Little baked things like bread, but sweet and crumbly.
You like cookies, I take it?
Yes, we have no such things in our lands. This should be remedied.
Stan has become the cookie monster from the Muppet Show. I wish I had the editing skills to actually get a gif of the cookie monster from Sesame Street and just copy paste animated face of Stan over it. You sound a bit homesick.
Perhaps. It's strange to be in a crowd and hear a language that is not your own. To see faces that are and aren't like yours. I miss the smells of Saharon. Tea and incense and the sea. Ferelden smells of wet dogs.
You left out the rotting garbage.
True. I was trying to forget that part. Shall we move on?
Don't the Qunari ever want to change their lot in life?
What does that accomplish? The farmer who buys a shop is never a merchant. He is always a farmer turned merchant. He carries his old life with him as a turtle carries its shell.
Well, that makes the turtle stronger, does it not?
Does it? It's also his weakness. If he stumbles and falls over, it pins him on his back. It is better to armor yourself with no more than what you need. One life, one duty.
I suppose that's true.
Shall we move on? Speak, then. Then I suggest we move on.
Let's go.
As you wish.
That's all I'm going to talk about with Sten for now. Anyway, before I talk to Morgan, what do you think about what Sten said? That's basically what we just talked about with Stages. Find out a lot more about the Qunari in the next game, but that's about as deep as you get into what the Qunari are like in this game.
I await your command. So, full of questions, are you?
Do you teach others to become shapeshifters?
Possibly, if I had the desire to. I do not.
And why not?
I was told to accompany you and to help you, and that I shall. This may extend to the teaching of my mother's skills in time. For now, I simply do not know you well enough. I promise nothing.
Fair enough. Anyway, with those conversation parts done with, in fact, let's check in with Barky Player.
Your dog is filthy. I can smell him 50 yards off.
I'm sure you're just exaggerating.
That may be so, but all the same, I would like your permission to bathe him.
Alright then. He does need to wash every now and again.
I will get my soaps, and the dog shall have his bath after supper.
I don't think he likes Win. Grandma can be a bit forceful, I know, boy.
Yes, it is good to have my sword at my side again. I call her Asala, the soul, my soul. She is forged from rare blue steel and has served me faithfully for many years. Yes, you understand what it is like to have a weapon that is part of you. Few others do.
Ah, Sten and the dog have the best bromance. Anyway, my first stop
Yes.
on this adventure,
Indeed.
I will take Alistair, Leliana, and Win,
Yes.
and I'll make a quick stop to Denerim. Because my first job is to go do what Alistair's requested to do. And get ambushed. Alistair requested to get ambushed. Oh, watch this. It's a dwarven
You have
merchant.
coin, stranger? With Orzammar closed off, old Tegra can get you a discount. Fine weapon and arms, dwarven made.
What's going on in Orzammar?
There's two things I'm here for. Travel or trade. Understand?
Fine. Be an arsehole. About the same. I'm fine with what I've got. I'll take that. Those will be gifts I'll give out later on, pretty much. Oh, Leliana needs a level. Give you a little bit more dex and a little bit more willpower. Give you a critical shot. Anyway, let's continue on to Denerim. Denerim. And Alistair's sister's locale should just here.
That's my sister's house. I'm almost sure of it. This is the right address. She could be inside. Could we go and see?
Sure, why not?
Will she even know who I am? Does she even know I exist? My sister? That sounds very strange. Sister. Oh, now I'm babbling. Maybe we should go. Let's go. Let's just go.
Yeah, let's go, Alistair. Let's see what she wants.
Hello?
Hey, you have linens to wash? I charge 3 bits on a bundle. You won't find better. And don't trust what that Natalia woman tells you either. She's foreign and she'll rob you blind.
I'm not here to have any wash done. My name's Alistair. Well, this may sound sort of strange, but are you Gordana? If so, I suppose I'm your brother.
My what? I am Goldana, yes. How do you know my name? What kind of tomfoolery are you folk up to?
I like that word. He's telling the truth.
Look, our mother, she worked as a servant in Redcliffe Castle a long time ago before she died. Do you know about that?
You! I knew it! They told me you was dead. They told me the babe was dead along with mother, but I knew they was lying.
They told you I was dead? Who? Who told you that?
Them's at the castle. I told them the babe was the king's and they said he was dead. Gave me a coin to shut my mouth and sent me on my way. I knew it.
I'm sorry, I didn't know that. The babe didn't die. I'm him. I'm your brother.
Ugh, for all the good it does me. You killed mother, you did, and I've had to scrape by all this time. That coin didn't last long, and when I went back, they ran me off.
That is hardly Alice's fault, though.
And who in the maker's name are you? Some dwarf carrying all his riches, I expect?
Oi!
Hey, don't speak to her that way. She's my friend and a Grey Warden, just like me.
Oh, I see. A prince and a Grey Warden, too. Well, who am I to think poorly of someone so high and mighty compared to me? I don't know you, boy. Your royal father forced himself on my mother and took her away from me. And what do I got to show for it? Nothing. They tricked me good. I should have told everyone. I got 5 mouths to feed. And unless you can help with that, I got less than no use for you.
I'm sorry, I don't know what to say.
All Alistair wanted was to come find his family.
Well, he found it. And what good is that to me? None, that's what. Unless he can see to it that his family lives as it should.
I would love to help you out, but I don't think we really have enough money to spare. I wish we did.
You, a prince, marching in here with your fancy armor and such, and this is all you got to offer? You must think I'm very stupid.
No, wait, I don't think that at all. I want to help, if I can.
You want to help? You go to whatever high and mighty folks you run with, and you tell them you've got nephews and nieces that aren't living as they've a right to. You do that.
Let's go, Alistair. There's nothing for you here.
You're right. I don't know why I came.
I don't know why you came either, or what you expected to find. But it isn't here. Now get out of my house, the both of you.
Let's go.
I agree. Let's get out of here.
Poor guy.
Well, that was not what I expected, to put it lightly. This is the family I've been wondering about all my life. That shrew is my sister? I can't believe it. I guess I was expecting her to accept me without question. Isn't that what family is supposed to do? I feel like a complete idiot.
You don't need her. You have others who care for you and want to ensure your safety. You've got me, you've got our companions, you've got our Lehman. That's your family. Not that shrew in the door.
Such as? The only person who ever cared about me was Duncan.
That's not
He's
true.
gone.
You have friends, Alistair, and I'm one of them.
Thank you. I'm glad you came with me. Let's just go. I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Like I said, this is a great quest. It actually teaches us that just being having the same surname doesn't mean a family. True family is the people who care for you. Goldana isn't his family. We're his family. Al Eamon is his family. That's what he's learned that now. That's all I came here to do. We'll come back here at a later date.
All men are the work of our maker.
First, I'm just gonna pop back to the party camp just to make sure nothing triggers. 'Cause I'm pretty sure I've unlocked a trigger for Leliana at least.
I lied to you, you know, about why I left Orlais.
Why?
I didn't feel like talking about it then. What happened to me? Maybe it will affect us, maybe not, but you should know. I came to Ferelden and the Chantry because I was being hunted in Orlais.
What for?
I was framed, betrayed by someone I thought I knew and could trust. Marjolaine. She was my mentor and friend. She taught me the bardic arts, how to enchant with words and song, to carry myself like a highborn lady, to blend in as a servant. The skills I learned, I used to serve her, my bard master, because I loved her, and because I enjoyed what I did.
How did she betray you?
You can say it was my fault. There was a man I was sent to kill. I was to bring Marjolaine everything he carried. I don't know who this man was. She gave me a name and a description, and I hunted him down. I found documents on his body, sealed documents.
Important documents?
It turns out that they were. My curiosity got the better of me. Something told me that I needed to know what was in those letters. Marjolaine had been selling all kinds of information about Orlais to other countries, Nevarra and Antiva among others. It was treason.
Isn't that what bards do?
Some. But I had always assumed Marjolaine only operated within Orlais. This was an unhappy surprise for me. My life as bard taught me that my loyalties should be kept fluid. My concern was not that she was a traitor, but that her life would be in danger if she was caught. Orlais has been at war with so many countries. It takes a harsh view of such things, as I later discovered.
I mean, most countries don't appreciate treason.
I should have left well alone, but I didn't. I had to tell Marjolaine I feared for her life. She brushed aside my concern. She admitted her guilt, but said it was in the past. That is why the documents had to be destroyed, she said. I believed her. I kept believing up till the moment they showed me the documents, altered by her hand to make me look the traitor.
Who's they?
The Orlesian guards. They captured me. Did terrible things to make me confess and reveal my conspirators. It was a traitor's punishment I endured. And at the end of it, all that awaited me was eternity in an unmarked grave.
How did you escape?
The skills Marjolaine taught me were good for something at least. I broke free when I saw the opportunity. I did not seek Marjolaine out. If she thought I was coming for her, she would have me caught again.
And say you came to Ferelden, to Levering.
I was tempted to confront her. I was furious, betrayed. But what could I do against her? And so I fled to Ferelden, to the Chantry and the Maker. Ferelden protected my person, and the Maker saved my soul. And that is the reason I am here. The real reason. No more lies between us, at least in this.
Thank you for trusting me with this.
It feels good to have this off my chest. Thank you for listening and understanding.
should trigger her quest. It's the only reason I came back.
Yes.
Indeed.
Yes.
Oops. Sorry, doggo. Now that I've done that, let's get on with the first of the things I intend to do today. This should be, yes. This is what I was waiting for.
Stop. Don't kill him.
I'm pretty sure either Win or Leliana must have shot him, so... why not?
He is no common bandit. None of them were. Their weapons and armor are of fine make, and they are well trained. You know what I'm talking about, don't you? Who are you?
Someone who regrets taking you on. I was told it would be an easy job. Kill the little red-haired girl. Deal with the others as we pleased.
Kill the... You came to kill me?
Who was trying to kill Leliana?
I don't pay to ask why someone wants someone else dead. I just need to know what to do and where to get my money. Ha! Money. I'll be lucky to get away with my life, it seems. Maybe we could work something out. You like the idea?
Speak quickly.
I've no real quarrel with you. Wasn't me that wanted you dead. But I know how you can find the one who does.
You'll lay for the information then.
I have some directions written down on how to get to the house. It's in Denerim. Yeah, it's the best I can do.
Thank you. Now leave. I never want to see you again.
Get lost before we change our minds.
Don't worry. I'll not trouble you no more.
It's Marjolaine. It has to be.
I thought you had escaped from her.
I thought the same. Maybe someone saw me. Maybe she's finally found me and wants to finish what she started.
What do you want to do with this?
She needs to answer for what she's done to me. If we are ever in Denerim, I would like to seek her out.
Go as soon as possible.
Perhaps it's time to settle this score for good.
Actually, I might legit actually go do this soon, because yeah. Anyway, we'll go back to where we're going to trigger what we want to do next, but before we actually trigger the quest we're going on, I'm probably gonna go back to Denerim. Sort that out. Let's take a closer look at the unarmed man. You're surprised to recognize the uniform of King Kaelin's honor guard. A memory comes to you. You fought alongside this man at Ossigan. The guards wear a uniform of Ban Loren, minor lord well known in love you alluded to with you. What do you want to do? Should we try and defend the man, or do we want to try and wait for the guards to leave? I mean, he dies either way, whether you actually join the fray or not, so there's no point doing an worry about it.
Thank you. I didn't expect the band's men to notice my escape so quickly. I tried to hide here in the woods, but there wasn't time. And now I'm a dead man.
What do you mean there wasn't time?
You were there in Ostagar. You know how things went. For me, it was either this, or die in some darkspawn's belly, or be hung as a deserter.
Yes, I recognise your face.
You were there with the Grey Wardens, one of Duncan's new recruits. I was to guard the king. He was my friend, understand? Maker. All that time in Ban Loren's prison. And I couldn't stop thinking about all they suffered that one dark night at Ostagar.
Not your fault.
I know. Even had Logain's men not turned their backs on us, the Darkspawn were too many. Even Cailan, for all his bravado, knew there would be no victory at Ostagar. The king entrusted me with the key to the royal arms chest. If anything were to happen to him, he said, it was vital I deliver it to the Wardens.
You still have the key.
The Maker has a sense of humour, doesn't he? I suppose it's for the best, however. Had I kept it, it would be in Ban Loren's hands by now.
But you said Cailan entrusted it to you.
I was afraid. I thought I would lose it on the battlefield, so I stashed it in the camp. Please, it's probably still there.
You don't think your Darkspawn found it?
I hope not. Would they know how to work the lock, even if they did?
The Darkspawn are more cunning than we give them credit for. But the king trusted that lock with his secrets. I'd guess that the contents of that chest are still intact.
The key's behind a loose stone at the base of a statue. I'll draw a map for you, so you'll know where to search.
You'll be taking me along, won't you? Call me sentimental, but I left behind some dark spawn that really deserve a sword through the middle.
I think Grandma lost her voice.
It is vital that the king's documents do not fall into the wrong hands. As for Marik's sword, it is too powerful to be pawed at by those monsters. Same for the
I've
king's
never
other
had
arms
language
and
before.
armor. And if you happen to find Cailan's body, see it off. He was our king. He shouldn't be left to rot amidst the Darkspawn's filth.
Rest in peace, random man. At least he got to see the glorious sight of Grandma losing her voice before the end. Anyway, we're back to Denerim. It's only as if we, not as if we left it.
If we have time, I would like to look for Marshall.
Alistair, what's this?
Let's go deal with this, shall we?
More enemies.
Poor bastard! Liliana! Ah, so lovely to see you again, my dear. Spare me the pleasantries. I know you're... Oh, you must excuse the shabby accommodations.
I try to be a good host, but you see what I have to work with. This country smells like wet dog everywhere. I cannot get the smell out. Even now it is in my hair, my clothes. Ugh.
Can you be any more aggressively French? Why did you send assassins after Leliana?
So businesslike, your companion.
You framed me, had me caught, and tortured. I thought that in Ferelden I would be free of you, but it seems I am not. What happened to make you hate me so? Why do you want me dead so badly?
Dead? Nonsense. I know you, my Liliana. I know what you are capable of. 4 or 5 men you can dispatch easily. They were sent to give you cause to come to me. And see, here you are.
Could have just sent a letter.
Ignore what she says. She's lying. I know how she works. What are you up to, Marjolaine? Why are you in Ferelden?
In truth, you have knowledge that you can use against me. For my own safety, I cannot let you be. Did you think I did not know where you were? Did you think I would not watch, my Liliana? What is she up to, I thought? The quiet life, the peasant clothes, hair ragged and messy like a boy. This is not her. You were planning something, I told myself, so I watched. But no letters were sent, no messages, you barely spoke to anyone. Clever, Liliana, very clever. You almost had me fooled. But then, you left the Chantry so suddenly. What conclusion should I draw? You tell me.
You think I left because of you? You think I still have some plan for revenge? You are insane, paranoid.
Not everything is about you.
Oh, is that what you think? If I were you, I would believe nothing she says. Not a one. She will use you. You look at her and you see a simple girl.
Leliana has talking boobs. That's why she's so special.
It is an act.
I am not you, Marjolaine. I left because I didn't want to become you.
Mouth.
Oh, but you are me. You cannot escape it. No one will understand you the way I do, because we are one and the same. Do you know why you were a master manipulator, Liliana? It is because you enjoyed the game. You reveled in the power it gave you. You cannot change or deny this.
She shouldn't have to listen to you.
You will not threaten me or my friends again, Marjolaine. I want you out of my life forever.
You know, as long as she lives, she won't leave you alone.
You've caused too much pain for too many, Marjolaine. It ends here.
And you think you can kill me like that? I made you, Liliana. I can destroy you just as easily.
My,
We
they're
might
all
want
so
Gameplay-wise, it does, as far as I know. Basically, if you're not careful, as I've just demonstrated, this fight can be difficult. But honestly, I'm not going to play every time I play this. If you think about it, gameplay-wise, you can get her to just walk away, she doesn't try again. But lore-wise,
she's dead because
honestly,
of me.
if this was real, think about it. Would Marjolaine really leave Leliana
We'll talk
alone?
later.
I don't think she would. So, gameplay-wise, making her fuck off works, but lore-wise, you can't really trust Marjolaine just to fuck off and just leave Leliana be. She would probably wait until such a time as Leliana is not travelling with someone so powerful as Thor and go after them, and try to go after her then. She would fail because I'm pretty Leliana would go and would eventually go and travel with someone else who's powerful, but I won't reveal more than that for now. But she would try still. So, lore-wise, it would make sense to kill her. I should probably drink because I didn't drink it.
As you desire.
That happened. Anyway, now that Marjolaine is dealt with,
Well, all right.
that's basically the point of where we can actually start giving gifts to Leliana. If we massive gifts to Leliana if we wanted to. I'm still gonna just leave that till the end. Anyway, on to some main content finally. DLC content.
Ride these beasts.
For the ambush.
Of course.
Bird fighting is the best. Just because you don't like fate doesn't stop you from making the joke.
So I shall.
Oh god, I thought the artist formerly known as Drake. We say as I was fighting the artist formerly known as Drake. Right, let's continue on and, as the quest says, return to Ostagar. We're going back to the land of the epic cutscenes. Remember that place where we went to where I spent a 6-hour-long stream? We're going back there. Thankfully, it's not going to take.
Watch out.
Thankfully, it's not going to take nearly as long as that. I don't think.
As you desire.
Something about returning here makes me feel old, Wynn.
And what exactly are you implying, Alistair?
What? What? Nothing. No, I just thought...
You just thought I might be an expert at feeling old and could share some sage advice.
I am an expert at feeling old.
I believed him, you know? That it would be a glorious battle that we'd win.
I did too. We were all a little bit younger the last time we were here.
Well,
We were all about 3 months younger, something like that.
With lips like that, son, you'll be lucky if you live to be half my age.
Win, I don't think you understand he actually will live half your age. That's kind of what we're reading for him.
I see them. Dark spawn.
He's only got 30-year lifespan for his age. Decapitation.
Poor bastard.
A decapitation over level. For Grandma. Perfect. Perfect. Grandma has haste. Excuse me while I vomit profusely.
What's the matter, Alistair?
I don't know, it just feels wrong when I was here. Poured over by dark
Now that
spawn,
Grandma has
with
haste,
their
we can
rot.
move across the battle. We can move
It was
across
his.
the game
I
and traverse a
know,
lot
I
faster
feel
than we
it
used
too.
to.
But he is not the first king to ever fall in battle. Or even the first to fall to the Darkspawn.
Yes, but this wound cuts deeper.
And it will bleed longer. But we must keep moving. No doubt the Darkspawn are eager to give us plenty more reasons to mourn.
And I've got plenty more reasons to give Alistair a gift.
Is that for me? Really? Wow! Wow!
Oh, how dear of you. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. That's very nice.
That'll do.
Watch out. There's a Darkspawn over there.
As you desire.
And the fact that hey, we can actually go a lot faster. Honestly, I mean, I talk to you and look. I just take it as you. I just take it as you having revenge for what Dad did. And to be honest, if you compare my bad humor to Pete's my bad humor dad jokes to Pete is a lot more funny than I am. Whereas with me, whenever I make my bad jokes are a little bit better than Pete, because my bad jokes tend to roam around the area. Oh, that's a dad joke. I'm just trying to find something to watch in general. To be honest, I'm kind of sticking to watching think my main interesting thing is watching Game of Thrones. I don't really have anything to watch to say yet.
Sadly, not.
Oh yeah, I need to find the key. I know where the key is. Just been looking to find something to backtrack. Not fair. I've got to go around the outside of this. Got a few invisible walls. Key should be somewhere here. Come on. Just did this quest last week. A little while ago. Here it is. Now using this key I can go... Ooh. I have to go the long way around, of course.
I have done it.
So it's true. He had convinced the forces of Orlais to ally against the Darkspawn.
Empress Celine was merely awaiting his response.
A response that never came, and now never will, thanks to Loghain's treachery.
Never is a long time, Alistair. Give it time, and let cooler heads prevail. There will be peace between us yet.
Well, I hope you live to see it, Wynne.
And I hope the Darkspawn don't.
Let me give Leliana these gloves. See how they are compared to what she has. They're better because of her stats.
Darkspawn, straight ahead.
Alistair's leveled up, that's good. Up to here, which we'll be getting right this quest. So, I need to focus on his strength for a bit. Now I'll be focusing on his tank ability.
Allow me. I could do that for you. I finished.
shoot a random crossbow, 'cause why not? Are you having memories flow back into your brain of this area now, like I am? Remember that quest when we actually rescued Dark's Flower? When we met that dickhead rogue and the noble who was scared for his life. But basically, again, this DLC is like a little homage to what we did in the prologue and everything we did there, and having some memories from that time. Yeah, it's some flashbacks that actually give some closure to the King Kaelin and Alistair stuff. It basically gives some more context about what happened with Kaelin and Logain and things like that. And it basically gives you some really, really good weapons and armor from this DLC. You get some swords, you get some of Duncan's blades, which are really good for a melee rogue, and you've got Kaelin's armor, which is one of the best suits of armor for a warrior in the game. So I'm gonna be right back real quick. Okay, oh. Keep going. Let's keep going so you can have more tears and fond memories. This is what's become of King Puppy. Poor dude. As bravado and gullible as he was, he's just another unfortunate victim to war. A king who died too young.
We'll need to fight the entire fight ourselves.
I don't want to be a statue, Mummy!
Of course. Well, all right.
There, just chilling. Don't mind me, I'm just chilling. Ow.
I see that dark spawn, I see. Lovely. Of course. I mean, that is better than what I've got right now, but I kind of want to give it to him later rather than when it's fully upgraded. That makes sense. Arrow of filth. It's filthy. Right, as I said, if we go this way, this is the Tower of Vishal. This is the place where we went to fight that ogre and try and like that sheep. Feels like it was only 3 months.
Watch out. Of course.
Enemy type. Let's get in here.
Careful. Dark spawn.
Lovely. Do you remember the time when fighting an ogre was when it was actually a real challenge? And nowadays, it's like fighting. Excuse you. It's fine.
Down the hole and into the deep. I don't even want to imagine where that leads.
I know.
Watch out.
Well, all right.
Let's just go for our food. I think you need to put it. Fine. It's fine. It's fine, honestly. Oh god, it's spiders.
Make him break.
I'm not scared of spiders, but they do make me feel. I mean, they're not so bad usually in Dragon Age, but in Dragon Age, stupidly big in that case. Especially in settings like this,
Off I go.
Ah, finally! Some dark form, something I feel I mean, I don't really mind spiders all that much. I feel like tiny, but the bigger ones kind of tend to be. But then again, there are people that I know of, like Law, for example, who have a phobia of spiders. So it's fair. Same. Yeah, basically, the two main ones of the two main phobias of like of people like spiders and snakes in terms of animals. If you gave me the option of being stuck in a room with a spider or being stuck in a room with a I don't mind for spiders and large spiders. Yeah. Same with snakes, in my opinion, because I mean, if it comes to like a regular spider versus a regular snake, I would take the regular spider any day, because snakes, even tiny snakes, don't make me feel uneasy. I don't like either. They both make me feel uncomfortable, but it's just basically, like I said in that scenario, you prefer snakes, I prefer spiders. I don't really know why. Yeah. Anyway, back to the remembrance. So basically, we're about to fight with the ogre that killed Caleb and completely monstered before he died, because if you didn't notice, the sword that's sticking out the torso of that ogre it's fitting that I'll kill the ogre there, the ogre that was so instrumental in killing
Let's have a
Right. And for all intents and purposes, apart from one more cutscene, that is it for Return to Ostagar, literally. basically 3 sessions for us. Like, basically, aside from those 2 weeks I spent off,
There it is.
I recorded
last
the
of
intro
them.
to this game, what, a
It's been
month
a
ago at this
long
point?
day. By the lines
More or
around
less.
your eyes, I dare say you look as old as I.
And if I may say so, milady, you appear to be getting younger by the day.
Be careful who you flirt with, young man. When you wake up beside me tomorrow morning, I'll be back to reminding you of your grandmother.
Beside you?
You heard what I said. It would not be the first time I woke to a younger man in my bed.
Are all women this evil and conniving when they grow old?
Just me, my dear. Just me.
It's nice to see those two bonding. Anyway, we should go give King Puppy a proper burial.
Alistair, are you all right?
Oh, they left him here to rot. We need to do something.
He deserves a funeral pyre. We can give him that much.
He was a good man who hoped too much and died too young. He deserves what little honor we can afford to grant him.
Agreed. Goodbye, Qui-Gon Jinn. I mean, King Kalen. I mean, Qui-Gon's one of my favourite Star Wars characters of all time. I've got to make that reference. I've actually been told this. I've actually been asked this quite a lot in conventions. That if you could choose a Jedi from the movie era to be your Jedi Master and teach you, who would you pick? And I'm like, as much as I love Luke Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi and characters like that, they don't strike me as teachers for me per se. Older Obi-Wan maybe, but they don't strike me as teachers. They strike me as the good friends you get to enjoy your adventures with. If you were to ask me who I'd want as my teacher, Qui-Gon Jinn. Old Obi-Wan, Alec Guinness. Let's just say this. I'll be teasing. Say I already took Qui-Gon, so I'll let you have Alec Guinness Obi-Wan. I said for since I already took Qui-Gon as my master, you can have Alec Guinness Obi-Wan. I didn't say if he can't. I didn't say if he could be. He can't be Alec Guinness Obi-Wan. I said I would willingly choose Qui-Gon as the one I would choose, even with Alec Guinness Obi-Wan.
You'll have to forgive me if I seem a bit nervous. Not many people travelling in this part of Ferelden. Of course, that's part of my problem, isn't it? Mule got spooked by a wisp and ran off into the woods.
Qui-Gon Jinn's my
Now
first
what do I
choice,
do?
so yeah. Part of your problem?
Well, yes. Oh, it's been quite the month. Allow me to introduce myself. Felix de Grosbois, merchant and entrepreneur at your service.
I am Freya.
I don't normally take this route, but with the war, I was hoping for a bit of luck and good weather in the mountains. Sadly, I've had neither. Ugh, this trip has been one miserable disaster after another. I don't suppose you consider helping a fellow out?
How?
Of all the other things that went wrong, the worst is this artifact I brought in Jada. It's a control rod, I'm told, for a golem. No point in me keeping it, however, as I'll never get to use it. But, maybe you could?
What type of golem do you think it controls? Are we just going to get Andy Serkis coming round the corner saying, "No! No! Don't give me control! Don't control me, precious!" What does this control rod do?
The dwarf I brought it from said it activates and controls a golem. So long as you have it in your hand, the golem does what you say. Might be useful, no? I mean, you look like the sort who could use one, yes?
Oh, before I forgot to mention to you when we were talking, this is the other DLC that I've got for main game. And this, from all intents and purposes for this playthrough, this is the last DLC I'm intending on doing. Basically, I have a plan. I intend to show off. I'm just going to tell you now. I intend to show off the majority, at least the majority of the DLC in this game, over the 6 playthroughs of this game. With all the, I'll show off all the origin stories. There are two DLC in this game that I personally don't like, and I'm considering not showing off at all. Called Darkspawn Chronicles and Golems of Ragnarok. Golems of Ragnarok is just an extra dungeon of the Deep Road, which happens after the main game, which is really boring. And for Darkspawn Chronicles, it's basically an alternate history story of what if your warden died in the joining, and what if a Darkspawn would, pretty much. It's really, again, really lightless and really boring, and the combat is fighting a Darkspawn is really crunk. Well, the gameplay as for Darkspawn is really clunky and not really fun at all, in my opinion. So I'll probably, unless you request that I show you those DLCs, I'm probably not going to show them. The other DLC, I mean, there's certain ones like Return to Ostagar that I'll do every single playthrough because I think it's worth it. And there's some that I'll do like this. There's some like this one, and the main DLC, which is called Dragon Age Origins Awakening, which I'll only do on certain playthroughs. So yeah, basically my plan is this one I intend to do at least twice, maybe 3 times, depending on the origin. Same with the Warden's Keep. Return to Ostagar I plan to do on every playthrough because I think it's a nice little sentimental. It's a nice little DLC which gives you some really good gear. So I plan to do that every single playthrough. Awakening I only plan to do on. There's one called Witch Hunt, which I think I might do a couple of times. There's one called Leliana's Song, which is focused on what Leliana did before the game, and Awakening, which is post-content for this game, which is like a post-content full DLC with new areas to explore. I'll probably do those when it comes to regarding my main playthrough. But what I consider to be, which one of these 6 I consider to be the canon. So I'll probably do it on that playthrough. And then, like I said, there's a couple of DLC I'm not even sure what to do at all.
The catch? Yeah, I suppose it is a catch, isn't it? The catch is that the golem didn't come with the rod. It's supposed to be down in a village down south, waiting to be activated. Even if I could get down there, which I can't, I understand the place has been overrun by Darkspawn. That's not such an issue for adventurous types like yourself, surely? Or I'm hoping that's so, at least.
How do I know it'll even work?
The fellow I brought it from is a long-standing contact. He didn't want to come to Ferelden, however, with all our... troubles. He said he got it from the man who owned this golem. But to be honest, I have no idea if it will work. Hence the low price. What do you say?
How much do you want for it?
Nothing. I just don't want to have to lug around something that might be taken for a gemstone by some bandit. To be honest, I don't even know if it'll be useful to you. I paid too much to simply throw it away.
Very well.
Just as well. As I mentioned before, you'll find the golem down south, in a town called Honleith. I'll mark it here on your map. Just hold up the rod and say Dulav Gar. That will wake the golem up, so I'm told. I hope it works.
And if it doesn't?
Maybe you could look up the fellow who owned the golem before. If he's still about, that is. Best of luck to you then. Now, I guess it's up to me to find that mule myself.
I think I'm going to do this DLC and then that's it for this week. I don't want to overstay too much with how iffy my battery packs can be. Plus it's like plus I've already been streaming for an hour and a half, and I kind of don't want to overdo these streams anymore like when I did the first two sessions for like 6 and 5 hour ones, and I reckon a nice 2 hour, two and a bit hour one would be a nice change of pace.
I'm sensing your dark side. Of course.
2.5 hours into the stream already. So yeah, I reckon. I reckon this will be a good place to. I think doing this DLC event, leaving after that, I think would be a good time stop. And then I'll get back to doing main quest stuff next time.
I see them.
Cannot be.
Key required, so someone around here has the key.
Just like you wanted.
Dead guy's got a key that I can use, so not the chest we found at the start of the map. It might turn out that, unless I feel like reading some DLC codex, having a codex DLC
finished.
reading. I don't think we'll be having a codex reading next time. I'm sure you might actually get straight into it. Anyway.
This is a golem, I believe. Damaged, perhaps beyond repair. There may be a way to reactivate it, though that is not necessarily wise.
CorduleEffect. Seems like there's nothing. Either there's something wrong with the rod, or or the merchant gave us the wrong phrase. Not deliberately, probably, but he gave us the wrong phrase regardless.
It's done.
Dark
Watch out.
sport.
There's dark
They just
spawn
pop
over
up.
there. What now? Dark spot, straight ahead.
Combat training and at last I can go level up my two-handed sword attacks. Okay, two-handed shrimp.
By the Maker, we're saved!
You weren't sent by the band, were you? To save us?
I wasn't sent by anyone.
So we could have just starved down here? The band gave up on us? I suppose I should be grateful that someone came at all, then. Thank you. But if you weren't sent by someone, why are you here? If you don't mind me asking.
I was looking for whoever. I bought a control room. The merchant told me about this place actually.
A merchant? Why would a merchant... I think I see. This is about shale, isn't it? I should have known. That damnable golem brought us nothing but trouble. My mother sold the rod years ago after it killed my father, and good riddance.
Killed your father? What do you mean?
My father's name was Wilhelm, mage to the Isles of Redcliffe and a hero in the war against Orlais. And what did he get? One day, my mother found him outside the tower, with so many broken bones she could barely recognize him, and shale standing over him just like it is now. My father deserved better than that. But if you really want to wake shale up, well, it's yours now.
Is there anything else you can tell me about it?
My mother never talked about it much. I was just a small child when my father died. Look, I know you probably have more important things on your mind, but I really need your help. I know you already saved my life, and I'm grateful, but my daughter is inside the laboratory. She was afraid and ran too far in before I could stop her. I don't know how she made it past my father's defenses. One of the men tried to go after her. He was killed, but you could find her, couldn't you?
What killed the man who went after her?
There are defenses my father put down here to keep strangers out. I knew about the barrier, I had the key for that, but the rest of it, well, we never came down here. Ever.
How do you know she's still alive?
I don't, it's true. I'm terrified that something's happened to her and she's lying in there, injured. I can't leave here until I know for certain. Surely you can understand that.
I'll see if I can find her.
You will? Thank the Maker! My father's laboratory
What has
is
the
just
chief
past
toaster
the
got to
next
do with
area,
this?
I think. She has to be there.
Victorious. Well, that's one less to worry about.
What now? I finished.
Don't cats like to be in trees? Oh look, someone's come to play. You have come to play, haven't you? We're playing a guessing game. It's better with more people.
Could you say if your father's worried?
Father? Oh, you can tell him I'm fine. Maybe he'll come and stay with us, too. Anyway, you should go if you're not going to play. Kitty finds you distracting.
Your father's waiting for you now.
I can't go. Kitty says she can't come, and I'm not leaving her. She'd be lonely.
You are so kind, Amalia. I would miss you dearly if you left.
That's not really a cat.
Of course she's a cat. She just talks, that's all.
Talking is simple enough, once you know how.
You should return to your father.
Nothing you say will convince Amalia to go with you. She loves only me now. I am her friend, while you are just a stranger.
Not leaving without the girl.
It seems we are at an impasse, so let me propose a compromise of sorts. Release me, mortal, and let me have the girl. Let us return to her father and leave this place forever.
You don't think he'll notice anything out of place, do you?
Mortals often allow themselves to be blinded by hope. They see what they wish to see. If the father hopes to see his Amalia alive and unharmed, perhaps he will.
I'll free you then.
Thank you. You are very gracious. The mage's wards hold me within this chamber, and only a mortal may approach them. There is a trick to disarming the wards, but I do not know it. Perhaps you will succeed where the girl failed.
The puzzle's simple enough.
This is so exciting! Kitty is going to be free!
No joke.
I've always wanted a cat, and Kitty is so perfect and pretty.
You see these arrows on the floor here? This dictates the direction in which the lane goes. So what you've got to do is make sure that the arrows all point to the top right corner.
I like it when Kitty sings to me. Father doesn't like cats, but he never met Kitty. Kitty says Grandpa Wilhelm locked her up in this room. Isn't that awful? Kitty is my best friend. I was thinking about the sun, silly. Tell me a story. it's a flower. Is it a daffodil? I like daffodils. I like it when Kitty sings to me.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a flower. Is it a daffodil? I like daffodils. Kitty says Grandpa Wilhelm locked her up in this room. Isn't that awful?
2 more clicks and we're done. 1, 2.
Yes. I can feel the magic fading. Oh, I had forgotten how it feels not to be caged.
Kitty? What's happening?
A wonderful thing, my dear, for both of us.
I said I'd free you. I didn't say I'd let you live.
Betrayal! You will not take the girl. She is mine!
Kitty! You're scaring me! I won't let you inside me! I won't!
This is the best outcome, trust me.
Of course.
Takes a bit of work, but it's the best outcome. You'll see. Barbara, and you get to go. Obviously, you let the demon possess the girl. And then a demon-possessed child goes back to her father. You kill the girl and leave the father heartbroken, or you can side with the demon and kill the father. I think that one of the choices is, but why would you kill him? Let's get rid of a few things like. I just need to get rid of 3 things. Really, so I can get all this. I get a new helmet. Which is only, it's got less armor, but it's got better stats, so this one's keep it. I get new armor as well because of this helmet, so I can go straight into wearing Kaelin's armor. Kaelin's breastplate. Kaelin's helm. That's what I'll be wearing. Alistair? You get my old armor set. adjust that helmet. And I'll give you that. When you're good. Keep going, shall we?
So I shall.
It is done!
So I shall.
You did it! You freed her! Thank you so much!
I'm sorry I heard.
It's all right, Butterfly. You're safe now. All the bad creatures are gone. You'll need a phrase to activate, Shale. It's Dulan Han. I wouldn't want the thing, but it's obvious you can handle yourself just fine. Now we should go, and quickly. Thank you again. We owe you our lives.
You're welcome. Dulan Han Solo. Right, here we are. Dulan Han. Activate new companion.
I knew that the day would come when someone would find the control rod. And not even a mage this time. Probably stumbled across the rod by accident, I suppose. Typical.
Hello to you too.
I stood here in this spot and watched the wretched little villagers scurry around me for, oh, I have no idea how long. Many, many years.
Oh, you poor dear. That would be really, really boring.
And the villagers had no idea they were being watched. Creepy.
I was just beginning to get used to the quiet, too. Tell me, are all the villagers dead?
I take it that one concern you.
Familiarity breeds contempt, as they say, and after 30 years as a captive audience, I was as familiar with these villagers as one could possibly be. Not that I wish their fate on them, no. But it did make for a delightful change of pace.
Did you watch the attack?
Not as much as it would think. There was running and screaming, and then days and days of watching the Darkspawn prowl around. I would never have thought there could be something less interesting than the villagers, but there it was. Well, go on then. Out with it. What is its command?
Do you have a name?
Perhaps. I may have forgotten after all the years of being called Gollum. Gollum, fetch me that chair. Do be a good Gollum and squash that insipid bandit. And let's not forget, Gollum, pick me up. I tire of walking. It does have the control rod, doesn't it? I am awake, so it must.
Is there something wrong?
I see the control rod, yet I feel... Go on, order me to do something.
Walk over there.
And, nothing. I feel nothing. I feel no compulsion to carry out its command. I suppose this means the rod is broken?
Should you be happy about that?
I suppose if I can't be commanded, this means I have free will, yes? It is simply, what should I do? I have no memories beyond watching this village for so long. I have no purpose. I find myself at a bit of a loss. What about it? It must have awoken me for some reason, no? What did it intend to do with me?
Haven't given it much thought, to be honest.
I see. Wonderful. I suppose I have two options, do I not? Go with it or go elsewhere? I do not even know what lies beyond this village.
Are you going to keep calling me it?
Yes, very likely.
What do you want to do?
I watched this village for so long, unable to move or act. My memories of anything before are vague at best. So I have no idea what I want to do. I'm glad to be mobile. Was that not enough?
I take it you killed your former master.
Did I? I remember that I had a former master. The mage with the furry brows who poked and prodded and barked orders. Did I kill him? I hope I did kill him. Perhaps the last order he barked was, "Gollum, stop crushing my head." Ah!
Unless you didn't call him it.
Yes, I'm just funny that way.
Are you certain you want to bring that thing with us? It could be dangerous and large.
It could also be a personal battering ram.
Good point. Better it than me, anyhow.
I will follow it about then. For now. I am called Shale, by the way.
Freya.
This should be interesting.
Grandma can go lay down for a bit.
Yes.
Before I go away from the screen, I want to show you something.
Pigeon crap. Yes. Pigeon crap. Yes.
Because pigeon crap. And thus KFC was created. Anyway. Back to camp.
I think I owe you an explanation for what happened earlier.
Grandma wants to explain something that happened a session ago. You mean when you fell over and broke your hip?
You should know that something happened to me at the tower before you came along. Remember my apprentice, Petra? She encountered a demon in the tower. It would have killed her had I not intervened. I saved her life that day, but I did not survive that encounter with the demon.
But you're standing right here.
Let me explain fully. I engaged a very powerful demon to rescue Petra. It sapped me of all my energy and will and left me drained. It took everything I had to defeat it. And when I was done, I no longer had the strength to keep my heart beating. I remember my life ebbing away. Everything receded from me. Sound, light. I remember being enveloped in complete, impenetrable darkness. And then I sensed a presence enfolding me and cradling me, whispering quietly to me. The sensation is impossible to describe. I was being held back, firmly but gently, as a mother would a child, eager to slip from her grasp. I felt life and warmth flowing through my veins again. I began to be aware of small sounds and the discomfort of my hip pressing into the cold stone of the tower floor.
So you were never really completely dead.
The Fade contains spirits both benevolent and malicious. The benevolent spirits seldom make themselves known, because they want nothing from mortals, unlike the demons. It was one of these spirits that saved me. Without it, I would be dead. And it has not left me. It is with me, even now, bonded to me. You see, I am supposed to be dead. It is the spirit that is keeping me in this world. And this is not the way of things. Perhaps the spirit did not expect this, but it is weakening gradually. I am living on borrowed time.
QV Emperor's New Groove meme here. She's supposed to be dead! Yeah, weird. How long will the spirit last?
I do not know. I can feel when the spirit weakens, so I should have fair warning. But come, let us not talk about this. There is time yet.
And with that conversation, I shall end it here. Yes, I should go. Thanks for watching. I won't be streaming this Saturday because I'll be and then Sunday will be D&D day. I don't want to be doing this on top of D&D on Sunday, so I'll time me out completely. So, more than likely it'll be 2 weeks before I start streaming this again, so until then,